Okay, so I recently made this like natural history poster type thing, um, just showing a variety of different birds that was made with the one basic shape here. And you can use the pen tool or clipping masks to create variations from this one basic bird shape. You can add feather details, you can lengthen the beak, you can basically make it as creative and original as you like. But first of all, you need to start with this basic bird base, which is what I'll be showing you how to do now. So the first thing we need to do is get our ellipse tool and just drag out a long ellipse like that. Don't give it a stroke outline, and you can give it whatever kind of crazy colour you want. I might make myself a tealy colour bird because I haven't done one of those yet. Okay, so we've got that there. The next thing we have to do, and this step might be fairly tricky, so you just have to listen carefully, is taking your pen tool. You have to hover it on the bottom anchor point there, hold down the Alt key and click. Okay, and that will basically delete the handles from that anchor point and give you that pointy shape at the end there. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is take the direct selection tool and holding down your shift key, select the left side anchor point and keep holding down your shift key and select the bottom anchor point. Now in your align panel up the top, you want to, from this pull down menu, select align to selection and then click horizontal align left to make those two anchor points go to the left side of the object. Okay, and with your direct selection tool still selected, click on the bottom anchor point and then using your keyboard, your arrow keys, just click on the down arrow key and lengthen that shape a little bit. That'll do. We're just making the wing shape at the moment. And then you, still with the direct selection tool active, you just click on that handle there and just drag it down to create a nice curve. There. So that's the first bit done, and that's probably the trickiest bit. Now select your ellipse tool again and holding down the shift key so we can create a perfect circle, you're just going to drag out a head shape like that, and you can change it around if you want, make it a little bit bigger if it needs to be a bit bigger, just use your own judgment. And then holding down the shift key, select both the wing part and the head, and then in your align panel again you're going to go horizontal align left. Just make sure it's aligned to selection. So that goes like that there. Okay, so that's the head, that's the wing. Now we need a little bit joining the head and the wing together, and we also need to make a neck. So grab your rectangle tool. You can zoom in a little bit closer just to make sure it's accurate. Hold your cursor against around the center of the head and just drag out a rectangle shape. Oops. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so your bird shape will look like that. Now we need to make a little curved piece for the neck here. So with your curvature tool selected, just zoom in to make sure you're clicking right on that circle path. So you're going to put an anchor point there, one around the middle, and that curves nicely. Make sure you click on the path there. Double click to make a straight line that goes inwards, double click again, and double click on the original anchor point, otherwise you'll get a little curve up there. Okay, so that's the neck piece sorted out there. So we're starting to get a little bird happening. Now what I want you to do, make sure you've got your normal selection tool there. Just select the wing shape and create a duplicate of that by going Control C, Control F on your keyboard. That's made a duplicate of the wing and we want it brought right to the front, so just go Object, Arrange, Bring to Front, and we're going to make it a bit of a darker colour. Maybe a little bit darker. Just a bit more variation. Okay, and then we want to make it retain its original proportions, so hold down the Shift key while you're adjusting the size of it, and then to make sure it's still in line with the side of the body, hold down your Shift key, and that will make sure when you drag it up it's nice and straight. And then if you want it a little bit bigger, you can always make it bigger. Okay, so that's the wing shape there. Okay, we want to make another copy of that wing shape, so just select that shape there and holding down your Alt key, drag out another copy. This will be for the tail. Now we want to position the tail behind that wing shape there. So in your layers, and you'll see that tail shape is active there because the little blue square's on. We just want to drag that layer underneath the other wing. Okay, and I'll change the colour, I'll make it even darker so you can see there. Now we want this tail piece to be long and thin, so don't worry about holding down the Shift key when you're adjusting. Probably a bit thinner than that even, and I might move that up a little bit. Okay, so I'm happy with that. That's a good bird at the moment. Okay, I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to make an eye. So select your ellipse tool, Alt Shift, and drag out a little circle shape for the eye. And now he needs a beak. So with just your normal pen tool, just going to make an anchor point there, and there, just in a triangle shape, and click on the original anchor point to close the shape. And then we're going to go Object, Arrange, Send to Back. Okay, now I want my beak and my eye to be slightly darker again. That'll do. Now I'm going to group together all of those elements by just dragging a marquee around the bird and going Object, Group. And then I'm going to rotate him. So I'll go Rotate, make sure it's set at -45 degrees. And now we are going to make his leg. To make his leg, just get the ordinary pen tool and holding down your Shift key so you can get a perfect right angle. Oh, where have I gone? Okay, now the reason it's done that is because I've got my fill on, so we just want to change around the fill and the stroke. Okay, now it just looks like a stick at the moment, but if we use the width tool, just zoom in on the top anchor point, select your width tool, and then you can drag out that anchor point to make it wider. I'll make it a little bit wider again, I think. And I'll make this part a bit wider. And that's thin enough, I think. Okay, and once you're happy with that shape, just hit V on your keyboard to take you back to your selection tool and go Object Expand Appearance to turn it into a proper shape. And now we're going to make the foot just with the pen tool again, zoom in, and it's just simply 2 lines like that. If you've got your smart guides on, it helps you create more even shapes. And once again, I need to swap my stroke and my fill over. Okay, so we need the width tool again to make these a little more bird-like. And thin out. Okay, so I'm happy with that shape. I'm going to go Object Expand Appearance, and then I'm going to join it up as best as I can with the other leg shape. Then I'm going to hold down Shift and select both the leg and the claw, and in my Pathfinder panel I'll click Unite so that turns into one shape. And then obviously I might make that leg a little bit smaller. It's a bit strange. It needs to go to the back of the bird, so we'll go Object, with that leg selected, Arrange Center Back, and then you can group the bird together. And from there you have a basic bird shape that you can play around with. If you want to get in and alter some of the colours, since they're all grouped together, all you have to do is use the group selection tool to highlight certain areas that you want to change. So say I decide I want that to be a lighter blue. Your group selection tool will help you adjust these things. And of course, you know how we make duplicates of these objects. Just hold down your Shift key and drag another copy out. So you've got another bird to play around with. And that is all.